up, Drummer Nation? Our first story is coming from Jake Paul. Now, our first story is about Jake Paul. Our first story is once again coming from Jake Paul. Now, here on Drummer, we've been talking about the chaos that Jake Paul.
Whoa, bloody hell, man, that like buses these videos. You wait like 27 days for one, and then bam, 2 come in 4 days. Okay, so sorry to be a bit of a bore here, right? But as I've mentioned in the last episode, right, we're really trying to hit 1 million subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, right? And we're currently just over 700k with about 5 months left, right? So it's gonna be tight. So I really appreciate any help you can give. So if you haven't subscribed, if you wouldn't mind doing so, that would be a massive amount of me. Anyway, right? We'll get on to this week. Okay, so I made a massive mistake, right? The other night, I was just sat there, right, with about like an hour left, finishing off the other episode, and then this happened.
I have one question for you. Yeah? What are those?
Oh, that whole 10-minute video, irrelevant. Like, as soon as that came out, who cared about the rest of it? Now, everything that I'm about to talk about for like the next 2 or 3 minutes has been mentioned 1 million times before by everyone else. Like the fact the bloke made his home address public so fans could go stand outside.
Jake sets up his house as a location, a business on Google Maps.
Jake Paul actually has the Team 10 house on Google listed as a business where you could just show up.
They have posted their own public home address online.
Man's registered his house as an address on Google.
Fuck! Yeah, sorry. Family-friendly content. And then the fact that he's out here making what are those jokes in 2017.
The what are those joke in mid-2017.
And your little like goon squad there saying, oh, ooh, got him, oh.
Mid-2017. The what are those joke mid-2017.
So you know when Vine closed down like a few months ago, right? And no one really cared. Like if I'm being honest, right? I didn't really give a toss. But I do now. They've literally just came over here and fucked it up like the bloody Viners. They're everywhere now.
Dab.
So anyway, also this week, right? Since I uploaded the last one like 2 or 3 days ago, everyone's been making videos titled Jake Paul Arrested. So I've been doing some research, right? And discovered Keem's been loving it.
Jake Paul might be facing 1 year in jail.
So where this story starts is that he was being a nuisance to his neighbor. They don't like him. The news comes round.
Jake, I wouldn't do that.
He acts like a dick on camera.
Why?
And the next day he goes and apologizes and records it.
But what I'm gonna do right now is go and be the bigger person and apologize to them.
We just want to, like, come over and greet all of our neighbors and, like, apologize for all the chaos.
And apparently, right, that's not allowed in California. So according to Keem, he's off to jail. It's weird though, right? So I feel like this is a bit like taboo to say, but there's no way I can deny, right? His vlogs are quality. Also, right, I'm not denying he's a massive knob. But like, there's a reason he's so successful, okay? Like I see so many creators complaining that at the moment. Like, oh, YouTube are pushing Jake Paul because he's family friendly, and like, it's bollocks. Like, he's clever, makes well-produced videos of the right length every day. Every day, bro. No, actually, we're not using that reference. Moving on. Like, if you look at the effort that must go into those, right, compared to, say, someone just whinging about him, talking to a camera in their bedroom, right? I don't get why people's sense of entitlement is, oh, because I make, like, switched-on content, I deserve to grow more. Like, no, bollocks. Like, just wake up. So it's happened again. So I'm sat here, right, with pretty much a finished episode, and it's kicking off with him again.
Now let's flip and send it, dude.
Like, honestly, man, I've got no idea how to keep up with this bloke, man. I'm lost, mate. For example, drama alert, Big Keem, yeah, usually uploads about 3 to 4 times a week. This week, daily, of which every single one has a title starting with Jake Paul. Jake Paul sued by neighbors. Jake Paul blames neighbors. Jake Paul 1 year in jail. Jake Paul's neighbor interview. Jake Paul swatted. Jake Paul roasted by Seth Rogen. Jake Paul swatted again. Jake Paul swatted twice. Today.
Our first story is coming from Jake Paul.
Alright, well, there's a surprise. He's also getting about 2 million views an episode, so I think it's probably worth talking about this myself. Okay, so since the other day when I recorded this, he's been dropped by Disney.
Cause yeah, my brother messed up, but he still got his Disney contract.
Love you all. Thanks for the support. Can't wait to grow and conquer. Jake Paul has always rise. Like, I swear this bloke tweets like a year 9. You can't even deny, right? This tweet would just look totally fine, followed by something like, oh, like for a rate, or someone talk. And basically in this tweet, right, he sums up that he's not going to be making any more stuff with Disney, right? And that him and Disney have both come to the mutual agreement that he should leave the Disney family. Midway through the season, in the middle of probably the biggest YouTube controversy I've seen in quite a long time. Okay, and then moving on, someone licked his door. Alright then. Then he was evicted, but He wasn't, because it was fake. That didn't stop the video titles, like. And then he was swatted. Twice. Jake Paul actually got arrested. Now, I've got to say, right, I love the fact that it's even gotten to the point where he's using his own name in the title for more views. Like, he's just won, isn't he? And then the bloody Instagram model who has a shout at security guards, he went to his house to try and fight him.
I wanted to, like, see if Jake would come out, because apparently when we were at VidCon, at one of these parties, it was like talking shit about me. So.
And then he's also found a wife. Like, that's some week. Okay, next topic. Jack Jones is a knob. Now, I realise, right, that's absolutely not news at all, but he's really excelled himself this week. So if by some chance you're not familiar with the name Jack Jones, right, I'll give you a bit of a brief history. So the guy made a name for himself out of holding his phone above his head and annoying people in public, or pretending to. And then moving on probably a few months or whatever, someone then did the same thing to him, right, and kind of harassed him in public by putting a bit of pizza in his face, and he called the police. Not really too sure how that one works. He then, maybe another few months on, right, proceeded to commemorate victims of a terror attack by having a pout. And then moving on further, right, as of late, he's been making some pretty extreme videos, such as asking people to hold stuff and then walk off. Bloody hell. Taking people shopping out of their baskets. I give this bloke a criminal record. And then most recently, right, he's whacked up a few vlogs which are just shite. Some quality editing there, like. Anyway, right, he's topped all of that this week with this.
How about that? Go back to your own country and shut the f up, you faggot. I'll knock the f out of you. You have no money. You have...
Oh, sweet lord. Like, I honestly have no words. It's as if someone's genuinely gone up to him and be like, right, Jack, you've got 10 seconds to make a bell end out of yourself. Get amongst it. So you might be sat there being like, oh, how's he going to come back from that? Like, has he posted the standard, like, groveling YouTube apology, starting with the sigh and all that? Not really. To all my haters, I love you. Like, big man, it doesn't really exactly make someone a hater if they just don't like you because you're a racist. Then I think he tried to call the people abusing him sheep by posting a load of goat emojis. Moving on. Anyway, sorry, right? Something else that needs addressing, that Dom from Love Island. Apparently, 4 weeks on ITV2 can turn any normal bloke into the King of Manchester. Provided he has a quiff and whitened teeth, but still. Thank you, Choice Store, for hooking me up today. Whoa, mate, they've fully sorted you out there, haven't they? That pair of socks must be weighing you right down there. It's like that one that posted a picture of Instagram of him at like some club night being like, oh, I'm staying humble. Like, did he even make it past the first week? Trained to myself. Well, clearly not, Dom, mate. Right, what else? I saw this week on the Twitter Moments tab. Elon Musk says artificial intelligence is humanity's greatest threat. Just above security robot drowns itself. I think we've got a few more years. And then there was this story of Daniel Radcliffe, right, coming to the aid of a mugging victim. Now, I've got to mention, right, I've fully stolen this from some guy's tweet, but I've still got to mention this. Like, imagine you're in the middle of like an alleyway or a street and late at night, right, and you're getting the shit kicked out of you, only to be saved by Harry Potter. Like, you'd be off to join the Order of the Phoenix at that point. Okay, and then there was this incredible fan experience. Like, I'd pay good money to see Millwall supporters do that. Okay, and then there was this picture of a plastic duck that lost a battle with the sun and ended up looking pretty interesting afterwards. Right, so I did a video on my Facebook comments this week, but they got even more interesting in the last couple of days. We posted that Brad Holmes rant on there, right, and it actually went down really well. Apart from with one bloke, the guy himself. At least tag me, mate. Bless you, the little Spice Boy juggernaut. But for like the first time in my life, the comment section had my back. Brad Holmes, your videos are shit. Cheers, mate. And then Brad called Luke here ugly, right? So Luke responded with, yeah, I take no offense in being called ugly by a 5-foot H&M poster boy with a shite haircut and wank taste in hats. Well, that's that then. Okay, also, whilst we're on the topic of Facebook and its residents, right, this week someone fake live streamed a GIF of a tornado. A GIF. And 100,000 people watched it live. That bloody website, man. Okay, and then something serious has happened in the last couple of days that I wanted to talk about because it kind of hit me a little bit hard. So Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park, committed suicide this week. And it really struck home with me because I just grew up listening to his music, but also made me realise, like, I've got quite a predominantly male audience, and that's a young one as well. So I kind of just wanted to take the time in this video to address that. One, if you are struggling with a mental health problem, that is nothing to be ashamed about. And And then 2, you can really help yourself by speaking out or speaking to someone. Like, it can genuinely be absolutely massive. And I realize, like, that sounds so easy, and with the fucking ridiculous stigma around it, it really isn't, right? But it genuinely can make the world a difference. So if you have one, I would seriously urge yourself to talk to someone or get some form of help. I'll find as many links as I can to try and help with that and leave them in the description. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Sorry to end it on a bit of a dark note, but I hope you have enjoyed. Please leave a like if you have. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.